Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid.
Happy Monday, everybody.
It is. It's very Happy Monday.
Yeah, don't sound so excited. Steven.
Sorry, my voice is still screwed up from the weekend. All right?
Yeah, apparently MojoCon has destroyed Steven's voice.
Oh, just for a few days.
He's pretending to have this Barry White thing going.
Hey, ladies.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Bless his little heart.
Welcome
Anyway.
to Defenders Live.
It is. It is Monday. It is Mojo 50. It is Defenders Live. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. So many great things to dive into. First things first, make sure you go to doaeshow.com for everything that is the Defenders, all the archives going all the way back to the beginning, so you can hear just how, well, I was going to say how
bad
much we've proved,
but you can honestly just check on Friday's show.
this is just, that wasn't that bad. Okay, no, I'm talking about like that was minor technical issues. That was not bad. Like when I say bad, I'm talking you don't know what to say, you stand there, you're stuttering, you're stumbling, it was horrible. Some of the stuff from the beginning. But hey, they're stepping stones.
They are. Small stepping stones. Technical difficulties happen. It's okay. We're all here.
That's what makes it outstanding. Anyway, doaeshow.com. Also pick up your gear.
Yep.
Shirts, mugs,
Over at the
Jack
shop.
Nation stuff. Yep, at the shop. Also go to mojo50.com. Follow all the other hosts. Check out all of the other awesome things over there. Also pick up swag there as well. You will not be sorry.
Correct. Now, how can people reach us if they want to talk to us?
Oh, do they want to talk to us there? Well, there's the social medias. You can find us at the Facebooks, the Twitters, the MeWe's, and pretty much anything else, actually. All of them at DOAE Show. And if you want to talk at us, make sure you use the hashtag arm yourselves. That is with a VES because it makes Steven's eye twitch if you do it with the FS.
It really does.
So
It's true.
it's
That's true.
Thank you.
It is true. So, to start this wonderful Monday off, and this is actually fitting. When I first saw this, I had to question whether or not this might have been someone from the Jackhole Nation.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, because the first part of I'll read the headline. A Texas bartender was arrested.
Uh-huh.
I immediately went,
Texas bartender arrested.
MojoCon was this past weekend. MojoCon 2019, which was in Fort Worth, which is in Texas. I thought there might have been something that might have branched out from the nation, the Jackholes. And then I was relieved to find out
it was not us. It was not us at all.
Not us. Or not,
Nope.
yeah, not y'all at all. Thank God. But anyway, headline reads, Texas bartender arrested for allegedly serving a mass shooter who killed 8 people while drunk.
Okay. Sorry, what?
Yeah, this is a little confusing. So a Texas bartender is arrested for allegedly serving a mass shooter who killed 8 people while drunk.
Hard no.
Okay, so this young lady, who we're not going to name for the sake of not naming it,
Sure.
had allegedly continued serving a man as he spun a large knife on the bar.
Inconceivable.
So a Texas bartender was arrested last week for allegedly serving alcohol to a man who later fatally shot 8 people, including his estranged wife, before he was killed by police.
Sure.
Okay. Online records obtained by People magazine have confirmed the charges against the 27-year-old young lady. The bartender stands accused of violating the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code restrictions on, quote, sale to certain persons, end quote.
Oh, is that the same one that says that you can face up to a year of jail time or $500 fine?
It is. The misdemeanor charge is typically filed against an individual who has allegedly displays criminal negligence in serving alcohol to a known alcoholic, a mentally unstable person, or someone who is already heavily intoxicated. Now, the problem that I have with this, and actually this wasn't very far from you guys at all.
No, it wasn't.
The location anyway, not the incident itself.
Yeah,
The incident happened way back in 2017. But anyway, if found guilty, yes, you could spend up to a year in jail and $500 in fines. The online complaint alleges that this person was working at a bar called Local Public House, which is in Plano, and it served the guy, and he then turned around after leaving the place, drove to the home of his wife, or his estranged wife. This lady had filed for divorce against her husband 2 months prior, told friends it was because of his drinking.
Okay, so let me get this straight. A guy who's a known drinker goes to a bar where he may or may not be known. At the bar, he's sitting at the bar, spinning his knife and playing around with that, asking for drinks.
Yeah.
He then says, let me pay the tab because I've got some dirty work to do while he's spinning his knife.
Allegedly.
And she's supposed to get in trouble because what? Did he drive home? No.
No, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Was he drunk? Yes.
Yeah.
He was 4 times over the legal limit, but was he still functioning?
Yeah. See that there's all these little things that are,
you know, I mean, he could have withstood that if he was drinking that much all the time.
Yeah. Basically the ex-wife was hosting a cookout and a football watch party when the shooter came, shot her and 7 of her friends at the house. Then police showed up and killed him. Again, it was one of those, according to the complaint, the bartender allegedly continued to serve the shooter alcoholic beverages even as he spun a large knife on the bar. Now define a large knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
This is a knife. Because it doesn't even say in here what a large knife is, what the large knife was. You know, by TSA standards, a large knife is anything with a blade over 3 inches. You know, that there are pocket knives that are bigger than that. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of it either. But there are pocket knives that are bigger than 3 inches. I just thought that was funny. So you can't, again, if the guy was not belligerent, if the guy was not acting erratic, I mean, so he was spinning a knife. I mean, again, is that a little weird? Yes.
But it's
there's
Texas.
Nothing about any of that.
I'm sorry. It's Texas.
Right. God bless Texas. It's one of those situations that even if it wasn't in Texas, there's nothing about what that guy was. So he was spinning a knife. What did the knife have to do with the fact that he went and shot people? You know what I mean? He shot them. No, he wasn't spinning a gun on the counter.
Right. If he was spinning a gun on the counter while drinking, there's a problem.
Yes. Then you can turn around and say, yes, this woman was completely negligent, blah, 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 blah. You know, is it a little bit weird? Should he have put it away? Absolutely. You can't. And again, the law is there, but really?
Yeah, the law is the law, but that's how that's going to go, I guess.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
You know, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. And then the bar agreed to surrender his liquor license after the killing.
Right. You know what else doesn't make sense?
What doesn't make sense?
The fact that you're still not on Ridgezone.
I don't. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to manage my budget first.
Summer's coming.
I know it's coming.
It's almost here.
There was a joke I was going to say, but it's not. It's not appropriate.
Look,
No, I know. I'm
Riduzone is
working on it.
It's America's #1 weight management supplement.
It is.
It's got OEA in it. Do you know how to pronounce that? I don't.
OEA. I just did. OEA.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
It's a natural metabolite of olive oil. It's also present in your body. Just happens to be that as you get older, you lose it. Like many other things.
Sorry, I
OEA
just
is
had
safe. It's accepted by the FDA. And here's the thing. The amount of OEA that's in Riduzone in one bottle is the same amount that you'd have to drink 12 liters of olive oil to get.
That's true.
So it's highly concentrated. It's a wonderful substance. It's low calorie consumption is what it helps you do. It also helps boost your metabolism to help burn your body fat. It's not a stimulant. It's naturally present in your body. Vegetarian, gluten-free, and non-GMO. Patented and FDA accepted. Go to riduzone.com, riduzone.com, and you get 30% off automatically when you buy a 3-month supply.
That's true.
So riduzone.com, riduzone.com.
Yay. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Let's see. Over on the Twitter's asking for a friend. Jack Hole at DOA Show at Dylan Laws. That's Stephen Airy.
Uh-huh.
Would want to talk to you guys.
I don't know.
Hashtag asking for a friend. Hashtag argue with yourself. I
apparently
wonder that
you.
myself.
You do.
I do. You just did.
Yeah, you just did asking for a friend, Jack Hole.
And also turned around and said, don't forget to turn the audio on tonight. Or
Yeah.
that we didn't. Yay.
We didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the programmer is back in spot and the AI is now doing what the AI does best.
That's right. Being an
It's just
AI.
pretty.
Kirk's Tasty Jill Hole says they surrendered their license.
Yeah, you you like that too, huh?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's a little bit. I wouldn't have surrendered that license. Not no.
No,
It
never.
was- if you're going to turn around and charge the lady, then okay, fine. Then she's been charged and maybe she loses her job. But you don't.
No, you don't
I'm not
surrender
giving
your
you my
liquor license.
license because of 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon kind of thing. Nope, I'm not playing that.
That's stupid. That is completely stupid.
And that's exactly what that is.
So there's this new class action lawsuit. Have you heard about it?
I have, but only because I'm reading it right now. The refunds of 300 million phone users sought in
300
lawsuit.
million.
300 million.
Uh-huh.
Users sought in a lawsuit over location data sales. Carriers face class action for sale of real-time phone locations to data brokers.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 major U.S. wireless carriers are facing proposed class action lawsuits accusing them of violating federal law by selling their customers' real-time location data to third parties.
You know what that is?
What is that?
That is a dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire!
Dumpster fire. I can still do that voice. Yay.
I know. It's You'll be better tomorrow, I promise. It'll
I
be
know.
better.
I will be slightly better. So this is AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint.
Which are all the big major big cellular, basically, as we can call them.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
Yep.
So, by the way, James, Louisiana, it's not drug companies. We're talking about cell phone companies. Your biggest top 4 cell phone companies are being sued in class action lawsuits for selling your location data when they weren't supposed to.
Yep. So, yeah, AT&T, if you have AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, any of those, then guess what? Your crap got sold without your permission,
Uh-huh.
and
More than likely, you're going to be able to jump in on this lawsuit when it actually pulls through.
yeah, that's it has gone up to the U.S. District Court for District of Maryland. The 4 suits filed on behalf of customers by lawyers from the Z law firm. That messes with me just a teensy-weensy little bit, but they're in Maryland.
Z.
The Z. Apparently, they don't want all the weird names,
Mm-hmm.
Shenanigans and Lofty, Smith, Twine, Kirtland law firm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that they just went to Z law firm.
Shanahan.
Yeah, exactly. Mahoney. Yeah, exactly. the law firm in Maryland all began with text nearly identical to this intro found in the suit against AT&T. Quote,
Ooh.
this action arises out of the defendant's collection of geolocation data and the unauthorized dissemination to third parties for the geolocation data collected from its users' cell phones. AT&T admittedly sells customer geolocation data to third parties, including but not limited to data aggregators, who in turn are able to use or resell the geolocation data with little or no oversight by AT&T.
And
To be
To be fair.
they've admitted to it.
Yeah, so we'll give them that. But just think about, like, they've sold your stuff and they sold it to third parties who then turned around, as this thing said, and has sold it to other parties beyond that. So there's no way of knowing. So theoretically, you could look at this as somebody could find some way of having some app to track you down. Let's say you're a single mom who's filed for some kind of a protection order against, say, your husband or a boyfriend or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And now he can find out where you're at to harass you or do. I mean, it's again, it's several, steps in a long line to get there, but it worked for that bar in Texas. So why can't it work here? The possibility is still there. You're stealing your information and your location without your permission.
Of course they are.
And some people are okay with that. I'm not really. I'm
So one of the biggest deals is that they came out with a revelation that the phones were being used and sold. The services were being used by a company called Securus.
Yeah,
Securus was using a location smart, which is on every cell phone anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and that system was being given to law officers and enforcers so that they could track down people that broke out of jail, things like that, more easily.
Yes, but
once that was figured out, it was a bad idea.
Well, because you can't do that. Because there's no probable cause. There's
what do you
no
mean you
warrants.
can't do that? No search and seizure? What? I mean,
Yeah,
Fourth Amendment,
exactly.
right?
You can't
What?
just spy on people. This is the same thing as it's the same thing as a wiretap.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ultimately,
Well,
they know where you're at and what you're doing and what's going on, and they have no right to do that.
And they've continued to say, so they've continued to go through ever since they got through this entire portion of it, and they were like, okay, well, we're not going to do it anymore. Despite that, there's been an investigation by Motherboard. Don't know who that is.
That's I don't know why that's weird, but that makes me giggle.
But Motherboard has investigated them, and apparently Motherboard found in January of 2019 that all that the three of them, T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T, are still selling your data for sure right now.
And you don't want Mother to be involved. It's just so.
You don't want mom to be involved, okay?
If mom gets involved, you're in trouble.
Look, if the motherboard gets involved, there's going to be shorted fuses. There's going to be twisted up wiring. I mean, everything's going to get frayed and shocked and shorted out. And I mean, you're going to short circuit, Johnny Five. You're going to short circuit.
Are you done?
No, I'm far from done.
I feel like if you get your voice just a teensy bit lower and you put a little bit more effort into it, you could narrate like an ant documentary. The worker ant goes desperately down and further into the tunnel.
Hold on. Let me read this. All 4 lawsuits against the major carriers discussed Securus case. While the 3 lawsuits against T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T also cite Motherboard's reporting on the subsequent data sales. Does that work? Is it good?
Close. I think you went a little too deep there.
Oh.
And you lost the jovial inflections that you should be doing of. But it was close. It was good.
Pretty good there. Pretty good. All right. You know what this reminds me of? The fact that we need Patriot Mobile.
Yes, we do. We were just actually talking about that before the show. We do need.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
It is a little. It's almost like we planned this out.
Why don't you talk about Patriot Mobile? Because I can't.
I could do Patriot Mobile. The Patriot Mobile. Guess what they don't do?
They don't sell your data?
They don't sell your location to third parties.
Yay.
What?
Yay.
Who'd have thunk it? Like, they don't do that. Oh, good Lord. Patriot Mobile. Desperate Left is creating chaos.
Mm-hmm.
We're not able to reverse if we don't stop it now.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling your crap.
Yeah.
Without your knowledge.
That too.
To people who will do nefarious things with it. And again, you may not have a like a protective order against somebody or whatever. What about pedophiles who might be tracking you and your children down? Just saying, it can be done.
It can be done.
Crazy things. So anyway, why haven't you switched to Patriot Mobile? That is the question.
I am. I'm going to do that by the end of the month.
Yeah, I might be too.
Actually. I found out how it all works and with the pricing that I get, and we're going to be switching by the end of the month.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You don't have to shop at the liberal cell phone companies that fund liberal agendas to take away your freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. You can support your values with veteran-led Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company, providing reliable nationwide coverage. It's easy to switch. Keep the same number that you have, bring your own device, or buy a new one. Enjoy no hidden fees, no roaming fees, no liberal agenda, no selling of your information.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of the big one.
That's true.
It's true. At Patriot Mobile, more than $2 million has been used to support your constitutional rights. Imagine what we could do with you on our side. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, with unlimited talk and text plans starting as low as $25 a month. Why you wait? Visit patriotmobile.com/mojo50. You need to do this today because why keep
just go check it out, and then when you can pay for it and start to afford it, do it. It's amazing.
Yes, you will not be sorry because
okay.
That's it. patriotmobile.com/mojo50. You won't be sorry.
Rocky with an I says, Stephen A., read this. In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equal and important groups. The police, who investigate crimes, and the district attorneys, who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Bum, bum.
We don't have the sounder.
I just thought about that. We probably need to have that anyway.
We need to have that
does
sounder.
Sound like something we should have.
Let's get that sounder now.
Now it'll be ready for.
Bum, bum.
Let's see.
Oh, so while you're getting that,
in order. Gotcha,
did you guys know that U.S. soldiers who worship the god of thunder have now gotten permission that they can keep their beards?
And we're not talking about the Kiss song.
No.
God of Thunder.
We're talking about Thor.
I'm talking like
Thor.
Marvel.
Like Thor.
Wields the hammer.
Like Thor.
Blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Flies around.
Thor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The guy that fought with Hulk.
Thor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thor.
Huh.
Just in case you didn't catch that, Thor.
Now, I know personally, actually,
mm-hmm.
I'm still friends with a lot of them, guys from the Navy, military buddies. Now, I know guys personally who actively worship, air quotes, Odin.
Sure.
Okay. Now, that, to me,
and
makes
he has
sense.
a good beard, too.
He does. That whole missing eye thing in the Ravens, it's awesome, actually. It could be, for stories, it could be pretty cool. But... So I get that, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The All-Father. I got that. I've heard stories. I've learned stuff from these guys. I get it. The only reason these guys are doing Thor is because of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, of course they are. Come on.
But it worked.
But it worked because they already allowed turbines and everything else going through, so it has to. That sound means that it's time for a commercial break. We will be right back.
Okay, so that's there. Uh,
I need something else to read while I have this voice.
man.
We need to record this.
Law and Order. What is? I guess it'd be the sound
Bum
effect.
bum. Just the bum bum. What is that app? Zig, what are you sending to us? I don't
Huh?
have Google Play. What are you sending to us?
Oh, that was garbage. Woo. Try it again.
Thor has a dad bod. That comes from Jason Louisiana. James, Louisiana. Thor has a dad bod.
There it is. I got it. I got you, you dirty rat. Cappy. Right here. Oh, this is so much fun. See, I wish we were a little bit better prepared for this, but
What's that? For me
Uh.
not having a voice? Yeah.
no, sounds. The sounders.
Oh, okay.
Patriot Mobile is the shiz night. Thank you, Sarah.
On the
over on
Twitters.
the Twitters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm patrolling my voice for some of it because
Yeah.
family show.
Mm-hmm.
Family
Patriot
show.
Mobile is that B.
It is. Tell me again you can do rap? Say that one more time.
I can rap in this voice.
No, you cannot.
I can't do.
Yeah, you'd be about as white as you could possibly get.
What are you talking about?
Oh, please.
I can be about as white as Rick Rolling.
Yeah, but that was the 80s. That was expected.
Yeah, but nobody thought that I was a white guy.
That's just true.
All right. Shh.
I didn't.
What? Oh, and we're back.
Welcome back.
Hey. Roz McAllister, she's finally checked in over on the Mojo TV page. Love you, Roz. She said, did you leave your voice in Fort Worth? Yeah. Yeah, I
you
did.
did. I
It's-
feel like that's a country song.
I left my voice down in Fort Worth. I don't know.
I left my voice in Dallas. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I
Good
got it.
times. Good times.
Okay. Oh, wait. I don't know if it's going to be loud enough or not.
What? Oh, that does work. Okay, so we got to do it again.
All right, hold on. Let me
find it. Hold on. I got to find it.
I got it.
You got it?
Okay, go.
You ready?
Go.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The police, who investigate the crimes, and the district attorney, who prosecutes the offenders. These are their stories. Sorry. Oh, it's so nice.
So good.
Oh, it's so good. I love you guys so much.
That's my job. This is fun.
Yes, it is. Here. Oh, it's so good. Wonderful, wonderful times.
Yes. I don't know if we should pick a pool of Starkey Jackal on Twitter. If you're Thor, take your relief factor, Thilly.
Good job.
That's awesome.
It's a good job.
Anywho,
I'm Thipper. Thanks for asking.
thanks for asking.
Brad's always Thor.
Do what?
Brad is always Thor.
Brad is always Thor.
Always a little Thor.
Always well, yeah, he's kind of Anyway, go to DOAShow.com.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Check us out. Get
Yes.
some look at the archives because it's just funny. It makes us giggle and somewhat ashamed. But hey, we had to start somewhere. Just saying.
Hey.
Also follow us on the Facebooks, the Twitters, and even the Instagrams, the
Grams.
the Grams, the MeWees. That's at DOAE Show.
Dylan's on TikTok.
I am. Oddly
on
enough, I got bored one day and was watching something and I did some silly things. If you really want to look for me, I'm there too. It's
Yeah, he's gone viral on TikTok, so. Mm-hmm.
totally viral. It's kind of.
You there. So
But anyway,
Christians
Check us
don't.
out there.
Christians apparently deserve to be locked up.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time in my good ear.
Christians apparently deserve to be locked up. Yeah.
Oh, Harvard University featured a left-wing activist and writer, Mr. Tim Wise, as a keynote speaker at its diversity conference. Despite his past rants against Christians, jesting that they should be locked up for believing in a fairy tale. Quote, "This is America. People basing their beliefs
Stop.
on the
You
fable."
didn't.
Oh.
You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Take over.
This is America.
You're teetering very close to Christopher Walken, just so you know. It's...
I know.
You gonna keep going with it, or do you want me to finish?
No, let's go. Let's keep going.
All right.
That's fine.
Quote,
We're good.
"This is America.
Don't
People
don't
basing
catch
their
you
beliefs
sleeping
on the
now.
fable of Noah and the Ark, or their interpretation of Sodom and Gomorrah, rather than science or logic. If you are basing your morality on a fairy tale written thousands of years ago, you deserve to be locked up and detained for your utter inability to deal with reality."
So, all right.
End quote, by the
This
way.
guy
That's-
he believes that science can explain everything.
Yes. Yes,
Okay?
yeah. And
That's
you
what
know
he's getting
what?
at, right?
I would actually probably agree that theoretically science can explain everything
Except why?
except the why. But that was not what it's explaining.
Thank you,
Science
Zig
is meant to
Gator.
explain the how and the what.
Right.
Why is a logical question.
Mm-hmm.
And logic is a, well, one, logic is something that if you ask, then you start questioning the whole thing as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Have to to ask why is to be willing to admit at some point that you may not actually know the answer. And
Right.
the powers that be, especially from the elitist colleges such as Harvard, you're not going to be able to admit that you don't know something because you have to know everything. And if people think for a second that you don't know something, then you can't control, or they can't be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't be controlled, then you lose out on all of your power, and then you become the nothing burger that you are.
Right. Well,
It
see,
just-
the thing is, if you believe that science can explain everything, then you also believe that all of the theories that people bring up from science must be true. That
Yeah.
means you believe that you are the progenitor of, let me see, a water droplet that rolled off of a space rock that then was struck by lightning as it was inside of mud, which created an amoeba. When the amoeba grew, it grew into some sort of weird multicellular organism that then grew into a fish, that then grew into a land fish, that then grew into a land fish with hair, that then became a monkey. And after it became a monkey, it then lost half of its hair, stopped climbing trees, it lost opposable fingers in its toes. It started to run a lot, stood up straight, combing its hair, and wearing clothes.
Yes.
You
yes.
believe that you are an amoeba monkey.
Allegedly.
If you believe that science has all the answers.
Yes.
So if science has all the answers, then you are the sweat droplet off of the ball sack of a rock. And I don't mean the
That's
rock.
true.
I just
Yeah.
mean a rock.
That's true.
Yeah. And the problem that I have with this as a whole isn't that he's one of these elitist guys who thinks that science is the end all be all, and that,
Which
you
he
know,
is.
how dare you question the almighty knowledge, because
Which he does.
He does, but that's not the point. The problem I'm having with this is he's saying Christians
Specifically.
specifically should be locked up. How old is Islam?
Well, it started in 600 something AD.
So that would put it at a couple, at least 1,000 years,
Mhm.
at least, right?
Yeah.
Close to 2. Okay. And I don't know their full backstory entirely, but I do know that their version of creation is kind of similar.
Yeah.
That of the Christians.
Similar, yes.
Similar. So there's differences by all means, but point is they believe that they're at a higher being, that God created something, that it came from nothing, et cetera, and not, as Stephen so eloquently put it, a sweat droplet off the ball sack of a meteor. Space rock. Okay.
Or an amoeba monkey.
Or amoeba monkey, yes. So if that's the case, and that's what Muslims think. If Muslims think that same thing, that there's some kind of a creation there.
So do Jews.
How come they don't need to be locked up?
Same with the Jews.
Same with the Jews. For believing in a fairy tale. I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why it is that you want to single out the Christian faith. And then what's worse is then he turns around and goes, basing your morality on a fairy tale. I'm sorry, but if you actually follow the teachings of Christ, it is about, loving your neighbor as yourself. That's literally the main commandment. The first commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. You have to do those two in order. And that's how that works. And loving God, therefore, allows you to love your neighbor as yourself. And then by loving your neighbor as yourself, the entire world, for all intents and purposes, ends up becoming a very nice place to be. No one is forced to do anything. People do things out of the kindness of their heart and out of the motivation of their spirit. And not at the force of a blade or crack of a whip or point of a gun or whatever. Which I think sounds pretty good. But you're going to turn around and poo-poo that because why?
Well, the underlying identification is that he doesn't see the other religions as necessarily as evil as Christianity.
But why? That's the thing I don't get. And
because he's
out of all
American.
of the other religions, out of all the other things, even certain denominations, but all the other religions, true Christianity is literally about love.
He's an American leftist.
Well, I got that, but people will turn around and go, "Oh, well, what about the Old Testament?" And God said to wipe them out and blah 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 blah. There was reasons and stuff behind that. Like it, don't like it. The New Testament, which is kind of the new covenant, it's everything, it's all Jesus. That's kind of where modern Christians kind of hang their hat.
Yeah.
It's entirely about you love God. You love God, and by loving God, he shows you how to love your neighbor and others, and then makes you the better husband or wife or mother and father, son and daughter, friend. And then by helping you in those spots, you start to affect other people. And if they do the same thing, then everybody does the same thing, that it interwebs together, and it becomes a very happy, peaceful world. So why is it that you're going to poo-poo this one, but the one that turns around and captures people and says that you have to submit, be part of it, pay a tax, or get killed? I don't get it. I don't. That one that's not a real religion. That one's not important. The one that actually, causes you to better yourself on the inside and have a self-check. That's the one you want to get rid of. And I understand why. It's because nobody wants to fix the inside. No one wants to fix themselves because it's hard. It's hard. We can't do it alone without literally the grace of God doing it for us.
Right. But you know what we can do alone?
What can we do alone, Stephen?
We can go to Tar River Arms.
We can, and we will, and we should.
Yes.
If we're not there now, if Tar River Arms is not bookmarked
in your browser
on
history,
your browser,
you're doing it wrong.
You are doing it wrong. I don't know if we can be friends.
I know.
I'm just saying. I don't think.
Look, Tar River Arms is amazing. They have great guns at great prices, a great service, veteran owned and operated. Everything that you want in a gun store, they have. It's just online. But coming soon to a theater near you. Tar River Arms. Yeah. They're going to open a brand new storefront.
Yeah, they are.
In Wake Forest, North Carolina. So not really a theater near you, but a theater near us.
Near
should
us,
say.
yeah, it's definitely near us. It's
So look out for it. It's going to happen in July, okay? And in July, we're also going to do the grand opening. So we're going to be there. Some Mojo stuff is going to be there. There's going to be great giveaways, prizes, prize packs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Check them out today, though. TarRiverArms.com, TRAGuns.com.
Man, it is getting bigger and bigger. I would argue, thank you. I would argue that this is slowly. It probably will not match the magnificence that was MojoCon 2019. However,
No.
I think at the rate at the way this is going to grow and the way this is going, it might be, MojoCon the sequel.
Hey, Roz says she may come down for that.
What? Oh, that would be awesome.
I know. I'd love to meet Roz.
I do too. There's
All right.
like I said, there's several of the jackals are already coming.
We've
Folks,
got we
so
got
many
too much to go through. We got too much to go through.
Ah.
Look, tonight we got the grindstone that we got to get back to.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
So
We're moving
before
on.
we do that, though, do you want to mention the Farrakhan story, or do we want
I
to hold
do.
it?
I want to read this headline.
Okay, read the headline.
CNN's Allison Camerata calls Louis Farrakhan, quote, far right.
Here's how,
Mm-hmm.
and I quote: Facebook is banning several far right extremists from its services because it considers them dangerous. Louis Farrakhan is a part of them.
So just because he's looped in with the right-wing people that are being
He's
kicked
looped
out,
in with the same amount of people that are getting pulled because they're right wing, and so now Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam leader, Louis
Anti-Semite.
Farrakhan is considered a right wing conspiracy theorist, along with Alex Jones.
Did these people listened to either one of them speak, like individually?
No,
There's nothing about what Farrakhan says and what Jones says that's even remotely identical.
no, Oh,
Nothing.
by the way, Peach is going to be there at the Tar River Arms opening.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she
Russ
is.
supposed to be coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be big.
All right,
We can't talk about it right now because we got other stuff to do.
it's true. We have this to do.
That's true.
It's time
You
to
are
go back
really
to the
proud.
grindstone.
You are really proud of that sounder, aren't you?
I do love this sounder. But really,
it's just that time.
it's time to go back to the grindstone.
Well, that's a good question. Before we get started on it, real fast, asking for a friend Jackal on Twitter.
Yeah,
Says, if morals don't come from religion, then where do they come from?
Nowhere. If morals don't come from a religious space, they have no basis. You cannot logically look at human activity and understanding and say morals come from here. Because
Yes,
every generation has their own set of guidelines. But morality from a religion as a standard is something that
Yeah.
you can't you just can't pass up.
Well, because humanity it fluctuates based off of our own feelings. Our emotions are literally like a wave. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's high and sometimes it's low. It varies, and you can't base it off of that. You have to have a set standard of something that is that you measure up against, and not what is measuring you up against. You know what I mean? You have to press yourself against it.
Yes.
And say, where do I need to change? Thank you.
Sorry.
So
tonight,
anyway,
back to the
it.
grindstone.
Speaking of-
This is your morning, your Monday grind. Back to your grindstone we go.
Speaking of morals and
Yep.
how you get to where you're supposed to be.
The next pillar that we have is prayer. Okay?
Yes. Do you pray?
I do.
Well, I wasn't talking to. I know you do, Stephen. I was talking about everyone else.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Do you pray? So here's the thing. The definition of prayer is simple.
It is.
It's talking to God and remembering that He is God. Prayer is not telling God something He doesn't know. All right?
Newsflash. God knows
God already knows it.
everything. He needs to know that you know it.
Exactly. Do you know it?
Do you know?
Do you know where you went wrong today?
Yes.
Because you can't be constantly in repentance if you don't know where you've gone wrong.
Well, you can't actually repent if you don't know what you did wrong either.
Exactly.
you can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry for lying," if you can't admit or realize or know that you lied or lusted or whatever.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. Insert
failure here.
Yeah. Which
That's how it
everyone has
goes.
it.
Yeah. So, but the foundations of prayer. It is a relationship. Okay.
Yes.
It isn't a. I'm going to constantly just repeat this same prayer over and over again.
Yeah.
It's not just the constant. Prayer is blah. Or repeat after me. Here's what we're gonna do.
It's not even the same thing that you say over a meal.
Yeah.
Like this is a where it's you and God, and you get down and you're talking to him and saying, God, this is my problem. And it's not just God, I my money has come up short. I'm not going to pay my rent. God, I need my money so I can stay in my house. God's not a genie, in case y'all are not aware of that.
He's not a genie. That's not what he does.
Get a little information.
No.
The right way to pray about an instance like that is, something along the lines of, God, I've messed up today. I've lied and I lusted in my heart. Please help me to do this. And oh, by the way, I'm a little bit anxious and worried that my rent won't get paid and I may get kicked out. But
your will
help me
be
to
done.
get over that anxiety and help me to be useful wherever it is and whatever happens.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can follow the idea that they have set in Matthew 6:9.
Yeah.
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts. If you go through that, you understand what he's saying is, what's first? Honor God.
Ding.
Once you honor God, then you can talk about the rest of it. Give us this day our daily bread. God, I am concerned about this. God, I have this problem. God, I need to be fed. I know you know it. But if there is a way, make a way. God, forgive us our debts. I screwed up.
Yep.
I
lied.
failed
I lusted.
here.
I'm a bad man.
And it says here, forgive us as we forgive others.
Yeah.
There's the golden rule right there.
Kind of
It's
goes back
added
to
in
what we
there.
were talking about earlier, right?
Yep. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. The whole idea of it, the whole process of that prayer is just going through, God, you are God. You are the everlasting God. There is nothing before you. There is nothing after you. I am here on earth
because of you.
because of you and yours. God, this is what I am in need of.
Yep.
God, please forgive me for this action and this action, and this is what I've done. And Lord, don't just forgive me, but forgive me as I forgive others, because my actions dictate how you're represented in my life.
Yep.
Don't lead me into temptation. Keep me on the straight path. Whatever that is to you, keep me on the straight path. And it just digs through, man. It goes through.
Yes. Again, the point is you're supposed to be trying to have that's the whole point of actual Christianity. A lot of people think it's just you show up to church, you check a box, you throw a couple bucks in the offering plate, you show up at Easter and the major holidays. That's not Christianity. That's not religion. You have to live it. You have to be it. And that's part of being it, is getting in and learning and studying and trying to be as close to God as humanly possible.
Right. And prayer is not, prayer's, it's about everything. Okay.
Yep.
It's about love. It's about your work. Heck, it's about sex life.
Yep.
It's about the people that you hate. All the rest of that crap, it is there. Okay? Your prayer should be simple. It should be honest. It should be direct.
Yeah. You don't have to be flowery.
Right. And understand this.
Nows and
You might be wrong.
yeah.
There are going to be times in your life that you are wrong. In your prayer, you will be wrong. You will say things like, God, I need this.
Yep.
And you will be wrong. And his response will be no.
Nope.
God can say no.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief, again, going back to what we started this with, God is not a genie in a bottle. He's not going to grant your wishes.
You can't rub him the right way.
Yes.
Look, you're getting on God's side. You're not trying to get God on yours.
Yes, because, again, if you decide to follow God, then God, as he is, the creator of the entire universe, literally holds everything in its place. The fact that you could breathe, the world spinning as it is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you're going to accept that, then you have to be able to come to him on his terms because he's a lot bigger than you.
Right.
And trying to fit God into your little bitty broken vessel of a life is not going to work.
Yes, correct. And so here's the deal. You should be praying on a schedule.
Yes.
Why? Because that's how people work. You won't pray if you don't have it on schedule or if you aren't inconsistent.
If you don't, yeah.
Right. If it isn't consistent, you won't do it. Now, Roz over on the Mojo TV, she says she prays with her eyes open as she drives.
Yeah.
Talking to God. That's fine. That's fine. It's consistency that you need to have.
But the point is trying to talk with God. That's the point. Because the way to understand it is when you study the scripture and do Bible study, as we talked about before, that is where you hear what God has to say.
Mm-hmm.
You get to tell God your side of things when you pray to him. And it's not just oh God, this sucks, I'm not going to pay my rent. No. It's
right.
Well,
you can't.
God help me with my anxiety because there's a part of me that, is afraid of losing my house. But if that's what you want me to happen, going back to thy will be done, if that's the case, then help me to be useful, help me to be happy, help me to be a benefit to those around me, help me to be the leader of my family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Not God give me money, because God could give you money is irrelevant. It's God wants to have a relationship with you. He could care less about your bills. He could care less about other stuff. That's trivial.
Right.
He wants a relationship with you, and you can't have a relationship if you literally go to him just to get money.
Now here's some
things
stuff.
you want.
James Louisiana says sometimes yelling God I screwed up help. Sometimes it works. Okay.
It does.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does.
Now, God is not supposed to be an emergency call. He's supposed to be like call it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not talking about
Here's a good point of reference for all those men out there.
word.
For all those men out there whose moms are still alive, God is supposed to be like calling your mom. It should be regular and often. And if you're not, then why aren't you, boy?
Yeah,
Get
there's
to
a
it.
problem there.
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter. That's
Ishihah Jilhol used a GIF, and it's Adam pointing down at Eve, and it says, "But God, she won't even make a sandwich."
That
is not a point of prayer. Not a point of prayer.
Exactly. Again, the point of prayer is and the Bible study and everything else, it's so you can have a relationship with God, so you can be the better example of him.
Yes.
That's it. That's the point. And you
Here on
can't
this
be
earth.
like him if you just like your spouse. You cannot be in a better relationship with your spouse if you don't talk with your spouse, if you don't work on building a relationship. If you literally just come in, you sleep in the same bed, you share children, you do these little things, you live life, but you don't talk and get deep and have, share emotions and fears and everything else, then that's not a relationship.
Right.
And it's going to fail. Well, it may not fail, but it will not be to the fullest as it should be.
Mm-hmm. Now, once again, here's a couple little pointers. God is not your co-pilot.
Nope.
God is not your best buddy.
I hate that stupid bumper sticker.
God is God. He knows everything. He understands everything. You can't lie to God without sinning.
Yep.
And if you're praying to God to change somebody else, then you're doing it wrong. Thank you, Roz, over there
Thank you, Roz.
on the Mojo TV. Now,
Yay.
yeah, buddy.
That time. Thank y'all for putting up with us. Go to DOAEshow.com for everything that is Defenders. Pick up gear, all that other jazz. I think we have the numbers.
We do have the numbers. Let's pull them out.
Yay.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day. Today we had 16 missed innuendo bells, 60 actual bells, and 6 horns, giving us a grade of C for the day. Peace out and good night, y'all.
There we go.
Yay. Oh, good times.
As always, DOAE Show, DOAE Show.com.
God, that hour goes by fast.
Oh, so much. Maybe second hour coming soon. You never know.
Never know.
Anyway, guys, later.
See you tomorrow.